Have you ever wondered what happens to plastic when it burns? It's a fascinating process that reveals a lot about the material itself. Some of it turns into ash, a residue that can tell us much about the composition of the plastic. We can measure that ash to understand the quality and properties of the plastic. That is what ASTM D5630 is all about. This standard test method helps us determine the ash content in plastics. ASTM D5630 is a test that tells us how much ash is left after we burn a plastic. This information is crucial for various applications. This is important for many reasons. For instance, it helps manufacturers ensure the consistency and quality of their plastic products. Knowing the ash content of a plastic helps us make sure its quality is good. It ensures that the plastic meets the required standards and specifications. It also helps us recycle better. By understanding the ash content, we can sort and process plastics more efficiently. Different plastics have different amounts of ash. This variability can affect how they are used and recycled. This test helps us tell plastics apart. By identifying the ash content, we can distinguish between different types of plastics. ASTM D5630 is used in many industries that work with plastic. From manufacturing to recycling, this test is a valuable tool. For example, imagine you are making toys. You need to ensure that the plastic you use is safe and reliable. You need to know your plastic will burn safely. This is especially important for products that will be used by children. This test helps you do that. By measuring the ash content, you can ensure that your plastic meets safety standards and performs as expected. Before we start the test, we need a few things. First, we need a piece of the plastic we want to test. We also need a special oven called a muffle furnace. This oven can get very hot. We also need a scale to weigh the plastic. It is important to be very precise. We need to know exactly how much plastic we start with. The plastic is put in a special container called a crucible. Now let's measure the ash content. This is a crucial step in understanding the composition of the plastic material. First, we weigh the crucible with the plastic inside. This initial weight is essential for calculating the ash content later. Then we put it in the muffle furnace. The furnace is preheated to ensure consistent results. We heat the furnace to a very high temperature, typically around 600 to 800 degrees Celsius. This high temperature is necessary to burn off all the organic material. This burns away all the parts of the plastic that are not ash. The process can take several hours, depending on the material. After some time, only ash is left in the crucible. This ash represents the inorganic components of the plastic. We carefully take it out of the furnace and let it cool down. Handling the crucible with tongs ensures safety and prevents contamination. Once it is cool, we weigh it again. The weight of the cooled crucible with ash is recorded for further calculations. The difference in weight tells us how much ash was in the plastic. This data is crucial for understanding the material's properties and potential applications. Ash content is the amount of material that remains after burning a plastic. This process involves heating the plastic at high temperatures until it combusts completely, leaving behind a residue. The residue, or ash, is then measured to determine its content. This tells us about the things that were added to the plastic. Additives like fillers, stabilizers, and colorants can all contribute to the ash content. By analyzing the ash, we can understand the composition and quality of the plastic. It is like looking for clues in the ashes of a campfire. Just as a detective examines ashes to uncover secrets, scientists analyze ash content to reveal the hidden components of plastic materials. These clues help us make sure the plastic is good for its purpose. Whether it's for packaging, construction, or consumer goods, understanding ash content ensures the plastic meets the required standards and performs as expected. For example, some plastics are used in medical devices. These applications demand the highest levels of purity and performance. Any impurities could compromise the safety and effectiveness of the medical device. These plastics need to be very pure. The ash content analysis helps in verifying that the plastic material is free from unwanted contaminants and is suitable for critical applications. A high ash content might mean the plastic is not clean enough. This could indicate the presence of excessive fillers or other impurities that could affect the material's properties and performance. Knowing the ash content helps us make sure things are safe and work well. By regularly testing and analyzing ash content, manufacturers can maintain high standards of quality and ensure their products are reliable and safe for consumers.